Good day, MTOPS traders. I just want to say how proud I am, first and foremost, of the MTOPS Criterion once again. We've protected our capital against a nasty short that would have taken our positions yesterday. And it took many accounts down with it. As we see here on BitMEX alone, there were almost 38 million shorts liquidated in yesterday's trend reversal alone. So that's a lot of money that's gone to waste. It's waiting for the screen to reload. You can do it. There we go. So whilst everyone, 38 million shorts decided to go that way, we consulted the MTOPS Criterion and it said, don't get into this trade. It's better just to hang back and wait for some confirmation of the MTOPS Criterion allowing us to get back in. And because of that, we definitely saved our capital. So really proud of it. It shows up time and time again. And I think it's time we get into today's MTOPS to see whether or not it's too late to get in and if it's a good idea to take a position. So as always, we start off with M, which is the market structure. The market structure compiles of the various cycles. Now, what I find very interesting is I left this arrow up from yesterday where price was, and instead of coming down and finding some nice support and resistance amongst these arcs, it bounced straight back into the accumulation zone. So my students at the MTOPS Academy will tell you what the accumulation zone is all about, and it's something that we don't trade in no matter what. So just from this major cycle alone, I can tell you right now, it's a bad idea to get into a trade. So from a market structure, I can already say that we're going to give it a 0. Okay, but just to continue the process, once again on this high cycle, which is stitched to the cycle above and the cycle below, I left this here yesterday with a big fat question mark, and it was rightfully put there as instead of following the lines down, it bounced up like that and would have taken out tons and tons of capital of ours, which thankfully it didn't. If you have a look here at the oscillator at the top, it did become oversold and there has been a switch there. So once again, I wouldn't get into the market now anyway, regardless of the MTOPS criterion for these reasons, but it's just a double confirmation of why to stay out just from these aspects alone. And then once again, we have a trend directional shift, which means that a higher high and a higher low means that we're going to see a higher high once again and a lower low thereafter. Finally, on the market structure, and if it does seem a little bit complicated, that's okay, guys. This is not simple Simon stuff. This is how the truth of the markets work, and it doesn't want guys to figure it out. It doesn't want to be solved, and that's what the law of alternation is about. So if you look over here, the law of alternation, it's something that very few people know about. I'll highly recommend you watch that video. It doesn't want to be solved. So the truth comes to those who have really worked hard to find it, and that's obviously someone like me who has. So if I go into this environment, I'm going to pull out the object tree, which I probably should give it a cleanse because there seems to be so many objects here, and just hide that price action. This is super confusing for many guys, right? As we came down from up here, we got a lower low, a lower high, a lower high, a lower low. So, and then, yeah, once again, downtrend, downtrend, and then a slight higher high, which obviously put up some bells for us to say this is not a good idea to get in. And then once again, a higher low has now brought us into the trend directional change. So when that happens, it's best to sit back and you'll understand exactly as to why when you get into the course material, because all of our moves have got reasoning behind it. Like so many people come to me and say there's an inverse head and shoulders, or there's a number 2 on the Elliott waves. And I go, guys, but why does it work? Can you explain that to me? And they say, no, I just saw it on YouTube, or someone on Telegram or Twitter told me that this is what I should use. No one can tell me why it works. I can tell you exactly why what I do works. Mass consciousness, the human subconscious needing a requirement for symmetry, the natural cycles, I can explain everything. So once again, the market doesn't want to be solved. It holds out the information for those who are truly passionate about what this is about and willing to go the distance to understand this truth. So again, if you're that kind of person who take trading seriously, get into this material and also come to me so I can get into the full-on trading experience so that you're able to become financially independent and become better at the markets than anyone else out there. I want to stop trying to get into that spiel. I'm just really passionate about my product. It's taken a lot of hard work, and I'm really glad to see it performing yet again. Okay, so protected our capital. Today's trade, because of the market being a 0 over there, 0 over there, and a 0 over there, I'm going to leave it as 0 there because we aren't allowed to go against counter trend, which means that we'll have to wait for the market to form a lower low before we get in for the next trade up. Okay, from a time projection perspective, paid content, but come to me and we can chat about it. I can see that there's confluence over here and over there. So it's a dual lineup, which means that it should be a turning point soon. But because we don't get to trade the against trend, I'm not going to put a score over there. With an oscillator, it's a bit mild. I give it to 1 because it's going to the slight on the upside. So above 0, it's got some green to it, a bit of flat action over there, nothing too convincing. So I'm going to leave it as a 1. If there is a 1, that's great. From a price projection, I don't really know how much further it's got to go. If it's going to break this high or this all-time high, if I'm not mistaken, then we're going to have another rally to the upside. Sometimes what I've been experiencing is that prices come down, made this the lower low, and then continue to go back up again. A prime example of this when it's happened in recent times is it came down there and then bang, all the way up again. So that could happen over here again because it's an accumulation zone. I'm not going to put out a trade for it to first see whether or not it can get above 42,000. So from here to get to the 1.5 mark, this will show us that we are at a new all-time high, and then we're going to have a fuller season towards the upside, which right now I'm not willing to get in, so I'm going to leave it at 0. And the support and resistance is looking super tidy. Once again, very, very proud of all the hard work I've put in. And as you can see here, it's paid off by our discoveries. Look how it's broken out of the accumulation zone, gone along this arc, found a bit of spring action from that arc, spring action on the long way up, all along this 2/1 line, and looking to see whether or not we're going to create another bull trend within the coming hours. So for the MTOPS Criterion, I want to give a support and resistance a strong 2. And I see here for us to get into this trade, would only be able to make about 20%. And that score says we get a strong minus 320%. Stay clear of this until we have further confidence of what the market wants to do. So again, guys, the power of this mechanism has put us in control of has protected our account. It's given us control over ourselves, and it is giving us the prospect for growth. I'm up 200% since I started this video series a few days ago with 0% losses. Please show me anyone else who's on the same page of where I'm at right now. And it's all recorded on video. Like, guys, this is all, I can't make this shit up. Like, I'm showing you step by step of how it all operates. So get involved is what I'm saying. Like, all of this is all the hard yards have been walked for you. Like, don't spend the next 40 years trying to figure this thing out. Just come to me. Let me show you. I'm doing this mentorship for a reason. Anyway, so from the protection of capital perspective, what else do I want to chat about? Oh yes, because of the math behind this, guys can never blow up their accounts. You can never ever make big losses, and you can never blow up your account because of the math behind this criterion. So once again, that alone is worth billions, and that alone is a reason to get involved. So if you're not getting involved, it's because you're not serious about trading, you're not serious about passive income, and you're not serious about becoming financially independent through the markets, and that's okay. But if you are, reach out to me. Let's get you going already. This is important stuff. You're important, and with this crazy world of COVID, it's not a good time to kind of sit back and do nothing. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Cheers for now, guys.